Today is day 22, and the theme in 33 Days to Morning Glory is St John Paul II's Totus Tuus. And Totus Tuus is thine completely yours. And he was talking about his consecration to Mary. Basically, the consecration to Jesus through Mary. So I'm here on the waterfront. I thought we'd get a nice little 360 view today. What's amazing about John Paul II and everything that he talked about is that he was giving his all, and what that meant and how that looked for his life and how he was going to be living that life. And it all comes back to the vision of 1917 of Our Lady of Fatima, and what that meant for him and what that meant for the world. You know, how was that going to play out? And what we see is that Mary asked for certain things. She asked and warned about things that would happen, and then was able to say, you know, if you consecrate yourself, that this is what's going to happen, the reward. And that's exactly how it played out. And so all of a sudden we had this opportunity of peace in the world, even though we were coming out of the war, which ended, even though another war started, even though we had Cold War, even though Pope John Paul II was shot in '81, all of these things happened, and still there was triumph. So that's, I think, something to look at. Is we talk about the consecration, but good for us if we can also focus on the triumph. What is the triumph that's going to come out of that as we continue to live our lives that way and as we do these things? So something to think about. Totus Tuus, completely yours. That's a great way to do it. That's a great way to understand it. I know for Donna, as I go into the morning reflection, that was such an important aspect as well, is to be completely for Mary, completely for Jesus, and what that actually meant in living that life and in being able to just celebrate life in general. So I'm walking over here right now, on the back of the 360. Here we'll go to the front. Here is where we have the memorial set up for Donna. These are one of her spring gardens that we put in last year. The other spring garden on the other side we put in as well. And what I love about all these gardens is that they bring, you know, they start showing us life. You've got all of the buds coming up, the lavenders, we've got lots of rudbeckia, we got the cherry blossom. And what is nice is when we get the opportunity to see the life springing forth, and what that means for us, and how does that life spring forth in us as well. So let's take a look at it. We give ourselves totally to Jesus because we end up being a part of that spring of life that we also get to be a part of, that we get to one day fully join in heaven, where we get to be back with our loved ones. So let's continue to pray and be totally for Jesus and totally to Mary. God bless.